That should fix it. You guys get a real scope of my very messy desk. Okay, there. Alrighty then. So I need a picture. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, baby Bill. Okay. Oh goodness. All right. So this isn't going to be anything pretty for the underpainting. Matter of fact, I think I'm just going to quick sketch it with this marker that's laying very close to me, if it'll work. It's for a late Christmas / housewarming gift. Now you can probably see what it is. It's up to you if you want to. I like to lightly sketch what I'm going for underneath it because it gives me lines to paint inside of. I guess different tutorials might tell you different things. I personally, like I said, like to have something light to go off of. I do mine in a couple of steps. You can just like straight put glue inside of your thing and just go crazy with your glitter right away with the glue. I like to do an underpainting first, just so if and when the glitter starts to chip away, there's there's something for it. And I realized that I didn't get anything to paint the background instead of leaving it just white. Okay, now I have something. Um, if this were just mine, I would probably do it. The color for science staff or something. But it's not. So I'm also very, very. Oh, I didn't even bring my palette. But we're just gonna do red. Because who doesn't like Picard? Hello, cat. Who has immediately left a present. That's Wily Cat. Excuse me, madam. Come on. So this is, again, this is just to make sure that the finished product isn't completely flat either. Again, this is personal choice stuff. Like, you don't, if you want to do it blue, if you want to do it yellow, if you don't want to color it at all, you want to do it black. Yes, Missy Cat. So I guess I'll do this as long as my camera decides it's going to function for the time being. I have to recharge. I don't have a power cord for it yet. I got the wrong one. So I have to wait for a new one. Or a new one, anyway. At some point. I actually have to return the old one. Or the wrong one. The brush I'm using too, it's allowing me to work around these lines, the lines that I drew myself easier. It's an angled brush. A 5/8 angled shader. It's a Cornell, so. I will eventually paint the outer edges too, the outside. But look, yay, color. already. Anyway, this is the... It's not going to auto. I'm not going to be able to show you the brush exactly. But it's a 5/8 low Cornell. You see the angle. Anyway. So you can kind of lay on the paint really, I mean, you can lay on the paint really thick and have the glue adhere to that instead of, not glue, glitter adhere to that instead of using glue. But I'm going to play it safe, and I'm just going to lay the glue on top of glue, Mod Podge, any of this stuff will work. There is a ginger kitty outside in my backyard. Hello, kitty. Hello. I like cats. I couldn't find my silver paint. So this inner portion of the insignia is actually just going to be painted black. It's not going to ruin anything. Oh gosh. This might go. This is all just cheap paint too, because it's just an undercoat. I don't want to... let's see, my red was just the level 1 Artist's Loft Crimson. What I'm attempting to see whether or not it will still function is the Folk Art Metallic Antique Gold. I don't know if it will. Aha! And this is really cheap watery paint. So I wouldn't expect any kind of glue or anything to stick to it. Or not glue, glitter to really stay stuck to it. This paint is also old. You can see that. It's super watery. But again, this is just, it's an inner coat. Just for the sake of having some underlying color. I have switched brushes. This is a number 4 filbert. Just a nice round edge. It's not exactly a flat-edged brush, but it's not exactly a round-edged brush either. And the cool thing about this too is any mistakes are gonna, or anything that you want to even out, you can cover with the glitter. That's the part that you really really want to make sure. I mean, obviously you don't want to go too far out of your lines here, because then that's just more for you to clean up. But I mean, this should be simple enough that, you know, with a simple design, you know, you can do something like this. You know, adults and kids would be able to have fun with this and do it, you know, a pretty inexpensive craft too. I would say that the type of glitter you uses matters. I'm using a more expensive fine glitter, and they're little bitty tubes. I'll show them to you. Just because I feel like it gives it a nicer surface. But you can use, the thicker glitter or whatever, especially if it's just a for fun project. Use whatever glitter you're comfortable with. You can get those huge tubs of inexpensive glitter from, places like Michael's and everything. So yeah, you can see just how easily this comes together. I am going to go back to my angled brush, I think, for this. Just because it does have some angles to it. You're going to see that I'm using black. This is a more expensive black paint, but it was the first one that I grabbed. This kind of paint, the paint that I'm about to use on this, I'm actually going to water it down some. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So I've watered down this paint because it is my really nice paint. And again, I don't need this to be strong. I need it to be just an undercoat. Same for you. I really, really, really can't say that I would recommend you using your expensive paint for this. Like, I'm using Grumbacher, I don't know if I'm saying that right, acrylic right now, and I'm using very, 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 very little of it, and then just watering that down. Whoops. There you go. Yeah, this is a much nicer acrylic. This particular acrylic, if you were to use a really nice high-end, it's Mars Black, by the way. If you were to use a nicer acrylic like this, you probably could lay it on because it's a pretty thick acrylic, and then just straight do your glitter coat on top of that. Yeah, really, I don't recommend it. Save your expensive paint for something that's not going to be covered by glitter. Really, the end goal for this is to make your glitter come out looking really nice and really cool. Not to worry so much about what your underpainting looks like. It's a guide, and it's a little bit of something if the paint comes off. Now's the fun part, where we watch paint dry. Let me go grab my glitter, and I'll kind of go over that a little bit. Mimi? What? You Casey. Sorry, I'm talking to my cats. Okay, so this is the glitter set that I happen to have. I've used it before and I really like it. It's extra fine glitter. It's the Recollections brand that you can pick up at Michael's. There's a lot of combinations of colors in here in different shades. You know, you can get really creative and mix your colors and get some shading out of it. It This set will run you regular price about $32. It's Michael's though, so I would suggest waiting until you get a 50% off coupon or something like that on a regular price item. That's what I did. It's way more worth it that way. But this glitter also, because it's an extra fine glitter, it really has a nice shine to it. As you can see, you can really catch the sparkle off of this really, really well. We're going to be using gold, obviously. Now we can just get the thing open. It does come in a little tray. It's a little tray. I suggest keeping it just because I like to repack mine when I'm done with it. We're definitely going to use the gold so you can really see that, how much the light catches that. Let's see. So let me see. I think I'm just going to go with the base silver. I'm somewhere between, I think the charcoal is going to be a little too dark. You see the dark difference between charcoal and silver. That charcoal really hits that black, and I don't think it's going to, I don't know that it's going to, how well that's, well, I think I'm going to stick with these guys. There's this other one in here. Man, glitter is forever a mess. Bling. But if you see the difference between the bling and this one's the silver, this one's the bling. It's whiter. It's, and you can see the colors reflect, like a color reflecting off of that. There's more colored. It's a mixture, I believe, here more than anything. But you could mix some stuff here. Like you could take a little bit of the charcoal and mix it in with some of the silver, and come up with a nice color. I am not trying to make it that complicated. I really don't think it needs to be. You know, you can highlight some sections with the white or with sunflower. Again, like I said, I'm not trying to make this particular one that complicated. I don't think it's necessary. Let's see. As I get glitter all over everything. So, I mean, I think we're pretty good to go here. So our gold's our bigger surface area, but it's also the darker of the two colors. So I think I'd like to go ahead and do that one first. Just so hopefully there's a little bit less mix in with the silver. This is just some school glue. Somebody's going to yell at me, but I like to use my fingers for a lot of things. I am not afraid to get my hands dirty. I will come in here. If something happens, it's because one of my other cats just crawled across. Let's see. I will get in here with a brush, though. Try to spread it out. Okay. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean for that to happen. So right here. I'm going to clean that up a bit. And I'm going to waste as little as possible. I gotta get this cap out of here. And there we go, right on. That's how I do things, okay? No one ever gave me credit. So I'm opening it on the more rough side. You can do it definitely on the lesser side. And same thing as with any glitter project, just, I mean, lay it on. You can, I mean, if you don't like it, you can scrape it off. With a rough object. But you really want to make sure that you're getting in there and you're getting enough so I'm just kind of shaking it to really make sure the glitter gets in there. Same thing, I'm just going to do a big spread with my finger and then even it out with a brush. Just because I'm crazy. Don't leave the glue on your brush, obviously. You really immediately wash and wipe it. Unless you're using an old brush that you use for stuff like that anyway. Then do what you want. But I would not suggest leaving glue on your brushes. There we go. You want to make sure too that you're well covered with the glue. Any places that aren't, obviously, you're going to have... So in bigger sections, as you can see, I'm kind of trying to do it in sort of a pattern. So when I'm tapping and bumping it like this, I'm just trying to make sure that the glitter's getting into places. And as you can see so far, it's not, you don't need to use a tremendous amount of glue. I would suggest leaving it for a few minutes before removing the excess glitter. What you will see that I will probably do after I finish this side, I'll go ahead and shake the glitter and let it go all across the canvas to try and, again, just, even out everything. See maybe if there's spots that still need more, etc. And the cool thing, this really is something that's really easy. I think you can do this without much trouble. And again, it's something, it's a lot of fun for yourself. You get to do this cool sparkly painting. And for kids, again, kids get to do a cool sparkly painting, Yeah, you can see how this bottom section, the one that I did first, has doesn't have quite the shuffle to it anymore. This should also help with the glue. even it out, um, reduce some bubbles and stuff. You will have glitter everywhere. It's glitter. It's glitter. Just accept it. Um, yeah. Now we wait. I put the cap back on my glitter. Um, and again, like let's say you don't want to take the time to underpaint, you don't have to. Um, if you just want to do this with kids and let them have fun, you don't even have to have them have a design. You can take this with a canvas that's one of the like paint your own paint by numbers, um, or something like that, and then they can use glitter instead and glue instead of paint, to come up with something fun. Hello, Mama. You guys have been blessed by 3 of my cats thus far. Mimi. Hi, pretty lady. You guys are going to have to deal with me in this tutorial and talking to my cats. Yeah, so right now I'm kind of waiting. Let me get some paper or something. You gotta have something to throw the glitter on and then be able to put it back. Don't waste your glitter. You can always put it back. I'm not going to use anything special, just a sheet of loose leaf paper. What I'm not going to do is do anything heavy. We're just going to let what falls fall. You see, I didn't tap anything or anything like that. I just let what was loose come loose. We'll clean it. And now you get to take that glitter and put it back in your container if I could ever open my container again. I'm doing this right off camera. You'll see in a second. But like on the paper, now that it's on the paper, you can see when it's spread out on the paper. Actually, you can't. You might be able to just a little bit. It's very, very, very fine. It doesn't look like it is, but it's very fine. I'm just kind of waiting right now. So, what will have to be done though, and I'm just going to use a brush, just a brush. That's apparently not going to work because it's not dry or not dry enough. Some of this gold's just going to stay underneath. It's going to be a little stuck. But this glitter, I mean, really, it's fine enough that the pieces are getting stuck inside the... They're getting stuck inside the weave of the canvas, which, I mean, it's okay. For right now, it's fine. Once everything's really dry, you should be able to go back in and clean a lot of that off. All right. So, now we're going to get to the silver. Some mixing's going to occur here. But the amount of the silver, realistically, you know, and the amount of gold per each section, should negate each other out, more or less. I am going to be a little bit more careful to try and not disturb as much of the gold. You do, if you did do an underpainting, really should make sure that that you get in there and with the glue and make sure that that underpainting is covered. Whoops. But I mean, as you can tell, I haven't time lapsed this. Nothing about this has been time lapse. This has all been completely live. This is me doing this, as I go. So it's not something that's very time consuming. You're going to mix the silver and the gold here on these edges. That's okay. The silver will come off. Same thing. If you turn your canvas while you tap, you can kind of control the direction that the glitter is going in. So once again, we'll just leave that for a minute. Right now it looks really weird. Because the glitter's kind of all over the place. Glitter's all over me. What's making this exponentially worse is that I have a ticking clock next to me. So when I'm quiet for a second, I just hear the tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And my brain keeps going to, I'm literally watching paint dry. But like I said, I mean, in whatever time we've been doing this, an hour, give it a little bit under than an hour, you've been able to do something. Let me see, what size? This is I realized I forgot to tell you what size canvas this was. It's an 8x8 stretched canvas. Same thing, you can pick these guys up, Michael's, Joann's, most craft stores will carry stuff this size. Again, you can usually find them on sale. And grab a whole bunch. I mean, I bought them on sale, and I grabbed a bunch of different small and large canvases. Right now, if you go to Michael's and you're looking for canvas, between now and the next 2 days, I think all of their canvas, their artist canvas are buy one get two free. So I went ham this morning. Whoops. Which I'm apt to do. They also have the their pour paint set on sale for I think like 35 or 40, and it's usually like a $65, $70 kit. If you're interested in trying paint pouring, I kind of am. But I can get really messy with that stuff. Jeez. I'm a mess. All right. Let's see. Oh no. Glitter. Look at that. Again, same thing, I'm not going to tap it right yet. The glue will still be drying underneath there, so keep that in mind. You can pour the excess off, which will give you a good idea of what you're working with if you've missed a few spots, if something didn't come out the way you wanted it to. Um, and you can go ahead and address that while the glue is still wet. But really, if you take your time and just check to make sure that you really got that glue on there, whoops. There we go. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Just trying to clear off paint. I mean, not paint, glitter. Minus some cleanup after this point. You're pretty much done. I really can't give you a whole lot more to do right now with something like this, because now it really does come down to drying time. Do not use a hair dryer to make it dry faster. You will blow your glitter all over the place. If I could explain to you the amount of, like, you can kind of see the sparkle on my desk of the amounts of really tiny, tiny glitter that's all over the place. It's all over my hands. It's all over me. I don't suggest blowing your glitter painting. The only thing I would say after this is if you wanted to, if you want to glitter your background, you can do that as well. I am not. I don't particularly want to glitter the background. I may clean up the background and do another. I will almost definitively do a second coat on the background once I feel confident that the glue has dried, so I can get around the edges and everything. Because as you can see right now, my edges are white. And if you're planning on displaying it, it's just not. You can do black on the edges. You can do the same color as your background on the edges. I just don't find it very attractive to leave it white, but it's up to you. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Really simple, really fast. Took about an hour on an 8x8 canvas to do a little glitter painting. They're really great as gifts. They're really fun for stress relief and just something cool to do. You can do them as small scale or as large scale as you like. I've done a lot of smaller scale, I think on 6x6 and 4x4s. I have a TARDIS somewhere that I had worked on at one point, and it was one of my really early pieces, so it doesn't look that great. However, I've done a couple of other things, like I've done Totoro and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. Came out super cute. But you can really go at it and have fun doing whatever with this. I might grab something else while this dries. I don't know. I probably will just go back to playing Warcraft or something while this dries. Or I could do some other art. I have that to work on too. which I could stream, I guess. I can't, it won't be like this though, because it's all, well, actually, no, I could do one like this, while I wait for this to dry, because I need to do a sketch for something to digitalize after. Put you here. Putting my glitter away. Gotta close my glue. Whoops. Yeah, this is just glitter. It's pretty ridiculous. Splotches of glitter all over. Good thing I like glitter. I don't know if I can adequately fit this thing up here. Sometimes I don't understand feedback, but okay. You know what? Maybe I have something. How far down did I do these things? Sorry, I'm like halfway mumbling to myself. Okay. Not sure. Yeah, you guys won't get any of this like this. I'd have to turn the whole thing, bring the whole thing up. Ah, bah, bah. Ooh, almost. Anyway, let me maybe just let this dry and switch to something else, or take a break for a bit and then come back later once I get this stuff cleaned up a little bit. Anyway, I will be back. Yay!